Sitting here with Mr. Al Franken. I see you everywhere now. You're out.
We're got this new radio show, the Franken Factor.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot of publicity for it. So
right.
yes.
Right. Is Bill O'Reilly, angry about that title? We
picked it just to annoy and bait him.
To annoy and bait Bill O'Reilly.
And hope he sues us.
Yeah. Well, he sued you before, and
yes. He should know that, however, that in the United States, satire, and you know this, satire is protected speech even if the object of the satire doesn't get it.
Wow. I just hope, does it say anything in the Constitution about poo-poo humor? Because that is
not protected.
Well,
specifically.
Then we're in a lot of trouble here, yeah. Let me ask you, last time you were on the show, you were just about to set off on one of your USO tours.
Right, yeah, I've been on 4 tours. This was an amazing one. We went to Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. You went to all those places, and you brought cheerleaders with you.
Yes.
As you've done that on some of the tours.
You always bring cheerleaders. The guys actually like seeing the cheerleaders more than me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I brought some Washington Redskin cheerleaders, great gal, and I asked Saturday Night Live for some tearaway burqas.
Tearaway burqas.
Tearaway burqas.
Complete with the veil, the whole thing?
Yeah, the burqas.
Yeah.
And so I introduced them, the cheerleaders, as the Taliban cheerleaders.
Really?
And they came out, and I said, well, gals, will you do a number for us? And one of them whispered through her burqa into my ears, and I said, well, you're not allowed to dance? You're not even allowed to listen to music? Mm-hmm. And she said, no. And I said, well, come on. Yeah, we liberated you. Guys, what do you say? You want to hear a number? And they huddled. Come on. And they huddled, and they agreed to do it. And then it went, everybody dance now. And they did this bump and grind.
I love hearing you do that, by the way.
And so they did this bump and grind, and then used the tearaway burqas. I think it's the first time tearaway burqas have ever been used.
Now,
and they're beautiful.
Now, let's go back to the radio show. The radio show, there's a lot of time to fill on this radio show. You're doing 3 hours a day.
No, it's actually very liberating. We talked, I just did an interview with Richard Clark, and that was great. And we do a lot of comedy. Mm-hmm. We actually had Robert Smigel, who is Triumph, the insult dog, who sounded a lot, who played a terrorist with Wally.
Who probably sounded a lot like Triumph, the insult dog.
Yes. Robert has a big range.
Yeah.
And
I'm a terrorist now. For you to poop on,
And no, it's a really opportunity to have co-host Catherine Lanford, who's a radio pro. And, she's teaching me a lot. For example, in radio, in live radio, you have to be ready for any news that happens, And she taught me this. In fact, we've come up, like, let's say I'm doing a comedy bit, like I do Strom Thurmond. And
on the show, you do a Strom Thurmond impression?
Yeah, him from the grave, but where I think he...
I like it. Him from beyond the grave as a zombie.
Well, I think it'd be more honest. And let's say something awful happened while I was doing the comedy bit, and she's told me that people would hold it against me if something awful broke while I'm doing a comedy bit. And so we've worked it out where she'd stop me. So let's say I was saying, like, because he had an illegitimate black child.
Yes.
And so let's say he's saying, like, yeah, I had a colored daughter. Yeah, I screwed the black girl. Yeah, I screwed the colored. Yeah, I did that. I screwed them all. I screwed the Mexican. Al. Yeah, I screwed the Puerto Rican. I screwed them all. That's right, because the pecker knows no bias, Catherine. He knows no bias. She goes, Al, I'm not Al. I'm strong. I'm strong. And I screwed the Amish girl. You got to get them on, because they get a year off. That's when you got to cancel them, the year off. I screwed my Al, stop. Yeah, Al, there's been a smallpox outbreak in Seattle. I screwed a girl with smallpox. Everywhere, look, with my immunity.
Yeah.
Al, stop, and then I'd
See,
stop.
that would be tough. Yeah, that'd be terrible.
So we're running through stuff like drills like that.
You do, speaking of impressions, you do Rush Limbaugh impression, and you use Rush Limbaugh your impression of him to actually do real ads on the show.
Well,
is that right?
What I've discovered is when you're a radio host, they pay a premium for you to do the ad, and I just don't like doing them because they're for herbal supplements and for a lot of cheesy stuff. But I've decided to do them all as Rush. So, like today, I did one. It was
Friends, it's Rush Limbaugh here. You know, I spent so much money on drugs. And not just the drugs themselves, but on bribing my maid, my friend, that I am always looking for a bargain. And that's why I like the new 12-pack from New Grape Soda.
He's going to start doing those ads. You'll see.
Oh, he does those ads.
He does those now, yeah. But well, the book, which has done terrifically well,
is
is
unbelievable.
And I bet you'll be mentioning it a lot on the radio show.
I don't want to be a shill for my own book. I mean, I don't want to mention lies and lying liars who tell them a fair and balanced look at the right, which is on the bestseller list for its 32nd week.
Wow.
Week. Yeah, I'm not
I actually happen to have one right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to hold that up. It's called, what's it, Lies and the Lying Liars, you tell them?
Yeah, fair and balanced look at the right. I was sued by Fox for using fair and balanced. I still don't know if I was sued for violating their trademark or for using the idea of using fair and balanced ironically.
Second one.
I think so.
Yeah.
So anyway, that they were laughed out of court on that suit. Literally laughed out of court.
So much the laughter was so loud and that it forced them out they shot out the windows.
People from miles around come to see that case, and they were just literally laughed out of court. It was great, and it sold a lot of books.
And that's a creepy smile you got going there.
Thank you, Bill.
The Franken Factor is airing in select cities weekdays from noon to 3 and on the web at Air America.
Yeah, we're on 12. We're against Rush, but we're going to try to do the show drug-free.
Okay, very good. Spreading the love wherever he goes. Al Franken, Vivica A. Fox.